So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another video here on the Freak Flyers YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about downsizing. More specifically, 5 reasons to downsize and 5 reasons not to downsize. So without further ado, let's actually get started. So first reason why you should downsize is pretty simple. A smaller canopy is going to mean also a lighter canopy and a smaller pack volume. Again, because you have a lighter canopy and a smaller pack volume, you're going to be having a smaller rig. And this smaller rig can be beneficial to your free flying. For instance, if you're a student, maybe flying a 220 square feet canopy or a 190 square feet canopy, maybe progressing onto a 170 is going to allow you to get a rig that's a little bit smaller, more designed towards actual free flying, instead of being like a student rig, which 220 or maybe even a 190 are going to accommodate. So by having a smaller rig, or maybe even a rig that's made to your own measurements, because you're either going to stop renting your gear, or you're actually going to buy something made brand new to your size, or you're going to buy something used that's more adequate to your own body size. It's going to mean that you're going to have a more comfortable rig, a smaller rig that's going to be easier to fly on the sky, and it does have some impacts. Now, with this being said, of course, you have some options that don't require you to downsize. For instance, getting a low pack volume canopy, which has, again, lower pack volume, getting a 7-style canopy, which does pack, or one size smaller, I think, or getting both a low pack volume 7-style canopy that the new wingsuit canopies are being marketed as being better 7-style canopies, and they do have great openings. The flight performance isn't so good because they're 7-style canopies, but again, it's a solution. So if you do feel like you're going to improve a lot by getting a smaller container, this is a solution that doesn't require you to downsize. It does require you, however, to change your platform. Now, reason number 1 to not downsize is going to be the fact that if you're getting a newer canopy, if you're downsizing, it means you're going to have to get a new canopy, whether it's brand new or new to you. It's a new canopy anyway, so you're going to spend money. Even if you got a used wing, and now you're getting a new wing, and you sold the used wing, you're still going to, maybe there's not a 90% chance you're going to lose some money, unless you've been doing like canopy flipping, like car flipping. You're going to canopy flipping and you're buying canopies for cheaper, then you're going to sell them, and you're running that kind of business. Unless you're doing that, you're going to lose some money, and that's money you could be spending on jump tickets, that you could be spending to progress in canopy piloting. And instead of getting faster by getting a smaller canopy, you're getting faster by actually learning a new canopy, and instead of spending the money on getting a new canopy, you can spend the money on some jump tickets, on some coaching, and getting better. So that's one of the downsides. Again, if you're gonna get a new canopy, you're probably gonna need the canopy for sure. Maybe you're gonna need also a new container, because the canopy you want to get is too small for your current container. So maybe you need a new container, new reserve. So again, you're gonna be spending money. Any way you cut it, you're gonna be spending money. So that's reason number 1 not to downsize. Reason number 2 why you should downsize is you're gonna be going faster. There's no way around it. If you want to look cool swooping, the small canopy is the way to go. I'm not telling you to downsize like a maniac just to go faster, but there's no way around it. If you're jumping a 150 and in the next jump you're jumping a 96, you're going to go way faster, way faster, even if you're just doing a 90. Unless, of course, you hit the ground, then you're going to also be going faster, but you're going to be 6 feet deep or something. But yeah, you're going to be going faster. There's no way around it. Less fabric, less air resistance, more speed means you're just going to be going faster. So that's a benefit to downsize. If you're competent enough to downsize, and you feel comfortable in not only you can downsize, but you think you should downsize, and everybody thinks you should downsize, you're going to actually progress if you downsize, which means your current canopy is actually holding you back from the performance that you can get from it, which is really rare. I've almost never seen it happen. But if it is happening to you, downsizing is going to make you faster. So if you do need something, maybe you're a little bit scared and you've been very conservative in your downsizing, you need a little reason to help you downsize, you're going to go faster, which I don't think, if you're that kind of person, that's going to be the really a reason that's going to help you a lot. But it's still a reason, and it's still a benefit to downsizing. You're going to go faster. It might even be a downside, which is what we're going to get into now. The second downside to downsizing is you're going faster, and it's good when you succeed, and it's bad when you don't succeed. So instead of putting going faster as a downside, I'm going to put hitting the ground harder. Yes, you're going to hit the ground harder and die. Yes, you're going to die, even with a 190, even with a 200, even with a 220. But let's say even with a 190 9-cell elliptical canopy, you are going to die for sure. If you hook it low enough, you're gonna die. Okay, so that's, I guess, downside number 2 is death or injury. You know, if we draw a line between the size of the canopy and the likelihood of you getting completely and utterly fucked up when you hit the ground, it exponentially goes up, all the way from a crappy 90 that you can kind of save yourself from and you're not really gonna get hurt, to all the way to catastrophic failure where you die and open a hole in the ground with a 150. So yeah, hitting the ground harder is our second downside. Let's go to our third reason why we should downsize, which is you're getting more range. Now, this is a little bit hard to maybe understand for some people, for especially beginners who haven't jumped very high performance canopies. But if you're jumping the same platform of canopy, and one of them is you're loading it at 1.0, the other one you're loading it at 1.2, you're gonna have a higher airspeed on that canopy. Of course, you're gonna have other things that are gonna increase. But what's also going to increase is the pressurization of your canopy. There's going to be more air being fed into your canopy cells. Therefore, your canopy is actually going to be more pressurized. Because your canopy is more pressurized, you're going to have more range. Of course, why? Because when you do use the inputs that you're using, the canopy is going to be way more rigid and way more pressurized, and it's going to be way more responsive than it would be if it was less loaded. The same theory applies to different canopy platforms. So let's say instead of thinking about a 190 or 170, you're thinking about jumping from a 107 non-cross braced to a 96 cross braced. Doing a jump from a non-cross braced canopy, especially the ones that are designed to introduce you to swooping, for instance the Crossfire, they don't really have a lot of range. Of course, they have good rears, but they are not very efficient canopies. They're designed to fall a lot, to give you a long recovery arc, to get you used to the long recovery arcs on high performance canopies, and also because, again, a long recovery arc is really helpful when you're learning swooping. But because of this design that the canopy has, it's really not a very effective canopy. And that's something you can see if you look at the sky and you see someone flying maybe a Crossfire 190 or a Sapphire 190, and you see someone flying a Petra or a Leia, a really, really small Petra and a really, really small Leia. If they are like trying to come back from long spot, both of them, you'll see that the Leia and the Sapphire, even like Sapphire 190, they are going to fall at the same rate. They're going to have the same fall rate, but of course the Petra is going to be much faster forwards. Why? Because the Petra and the Leias are canopies designed to be extremely efficient and to be as small as possible to create the most speed possible, but to be as efficient as possible in creating lift to send us the furthest that we can. So again, smaller canopies and more high performance platforms are more efficient and do have more range. So that's another benefit to downsizing. And now our third reason not to downsize is the fact that you're probably going to lose the respect from your peers. Now, again, this is really, really dependent on what kind of situation you're in. It doesn't mean that just because you're going to downsize, people are going to start hating you. But if you are the guy that's conservative and the guy that's taking his canopy to its full extent, you're probably going to have the respect from your mentor, from your coach, from everyone at the DZ, because people know what you're doing is safe and what you're doing is actually beneficial to yourself. Now, if you're downsizing like a maniac, one of the downsides is people are not going to respect you. If you show up to the DZ and people tell you, people either tell you shouldn't jump that or you're not going to jump that here, and you go to another drop zone and do it there, when people find out, they're not going to be pissed at you because, honestly, nobody cares. If you do get hurt, it happens every day to everyone. Not here in Portugal, but it does happen every day that people get hurt all around the world. So if you do get hurt, that's one more person that gets hurt, and it's not from lack of warning. But you are going to lose some of the respect if you come here and or you come to another drop zone, someone tells you shouldn't jump your canopy here, or you're not going to jump your canopy here, and you shouldn't jump your canopy, and you go somewhere else to jump it, you're going to lose that person's respect. You're going to lose that community's respect. So that's another downside, losing the respect from your peers. Fifth reason why you should downsize is you look cool. Yep, that's true. You look cool. I'm saying that. That's a controversial phrase for me to say, but downsizing makes you look fucking cool. It's true. Have you seen swoopers coming the hangar, packing them small Leias and small Petras? They look cool. Have you seen the tiny Pro Packs? Have you seen them? They look amazing. They look so cool. You look so cool packing a canopy that doesn't even touch the ground. So that's a benefit. Yeah, there you go. A benefit to downsizing. You look cool. What doesn't look cool is fucking dying and fucking coming to drop zone with a broken leg. Doesn't look so cool. But it does look cool to pack a sub 70 canopy. It does look cool. Personally, I think it looks cool. When I was younger, I saw people coming in with small ass canopies. I thought it looked amazing. A tip, maybe, if you want to look even cooler, is don't buy full sail canopies, because they have like a bigger, looks like the canopy is bigger. My Petras, sometimes when they're like new, they're brand new almost, and they're completely full of air, they look like a 120. So if you do want to get a very small canopy that looks small, just get like a non-cross braced, really old canopy, and then in the landing area, just squash it up, make it really small, and you're gonna look fucking dope because it looks like you have a small canopy. So yeah, there's another benefit to downsizing. Now let's talk about our fourth reason why you should not downsize. And it is the fact that you're going to have less time to make decisions. Yes, so in some situations when you downsize, you're going to have more time to make decisions. But those are the decisions that you want to make, okay? So let's give an example. For instance, you're thinking about going from a Sapphire 150 onto a Crossfire 135. And you want to make that jump. You want to make the downsize and then the changing platform, which you shouldn't do. You shouldn't downsize and change platforms at the same time, blah, 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 blah. But let's say you do want to do that. When you're doing your high performance turns, you are going to have more time in the recovery arc to make your decision and to decide if you should toggle stab and save yourself, or if you can actually perform the swoop. And it's going to help you build your photographic memory of your turn. Now, when we say you have less time to make decisions, it means you're going to have less time to make decisions on really crappy situations. When you pull low, when you're landing off, all that kind of stuff, where maybe, let's say you have to land off and you don't know the direction of the wind, you're not sure, and then you need to wait until you get to the ground to see something move, to see the direction of the wind, maybe see a tree or something, and there's light wind, but there is enough wind that landing downwind, it's not going to be crappy, and then because you have a small wing, you're going to have less time, and even if you did have enough time, you wouldn't have enough time for your old wing. For your new wing, you're gonna need even more time. So not only do you have less time, you also are it's also more important that you make those decisions, because let's say you have a lot of time to decide with the 150. Even if you don't decide in that lot of time, you're landing downwind the 150. Now let's say the same situation but with a 120. Not only do you have less time, but also if you do fuck up, you're landing a 120 downwind. It sucks, doesn't it? So yeah, there's another reason you have less time to make your decisions when you're in really tight situations. I'm not even going to mention the fact that smaller containers mean smaller reserves, because downsizing and getting a smaller wing, you're going to get hurt and you're probably going to scrape yourself a lot, and that's fine because that's part of the swooping progression. But getting a smaller wing, and because of that smaller wing, you're getting a smaller reserve, that's your own suicide. That's your death sentence right there signed. So that's something to have in consideration as well. Last reason why you should downsize, or it would be good if you downsized, so benefit to downsizing is the fact that you finally get to, go out of your rental rigs and you finally get to buy your own rig. So currently lead times and production times for rigs and for canopies are taking quite a long time. So I mean, if you're thinking about downsizing, maybe by the end of the season, it would be smart to maybe order a rig already and order your new canopy already. That way you get it for the next season, which is what I'm actually doing right now. That's the last benefit to downsizing. There are a lot of benefits, there are a lot more, but let's talk about our last reason not to downsize, which is you're going to hinder your canopy piloting progression. I've talked about this in a whole video, so if you want to see it, go look in the link in the description. There's the whole video there. But basically what I mean with this is learn your own canopy, okay? Fly your canopy until it fucking dies. Fly your canopy until you're a master fly Reddit. I want you to pick up your Crossfire 99 and do a blind man with it. I want you to pick up your Crossfire 99, go through gates, touch the water, whatever. Just get good at it, get coaching, and get good at it. And if you're going to progress, your young skydiving mind is not used to taking in so many new concepts. You're not used to changing recovery arcs every season. And because of you not being used to this, you're constantly stimulating your mind to new things, and you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. If you want to progress consistently in the beginning, which is when you're the most vulnerable to dying, you shouldn't really change anything. You should just be able to do one turn, have one recovery arc, one wing loading, one wing, and do it consistently. Not even two wings of the same size, not even two wings of the same model, just one wing, because it ages and it changes, but that's a topic for another video. So that's the last reason, guys. So these are 5 reasons why you should downsize and why you shouldn't. Now, the reasons why you should downsize, some of them are real, or all of them are real, sorry, but they're a little bit in joking, okay? And I did give you, to almost all of them, alternatives that didn't require you to downsize. The reasons why you should not downsize are serious, and you should take them seriously, because the consequences are your death. And don't think about yourself, think about your family and your friends, because they will not want to see you die in front of them in a crappy, poorly decided circuit or a crappy, poorly made turn. Same thing applies for your friends. Share this video with them if you think they're downsizing too fast, and tell them how much you care about them and how much you don't want them to die. So that's been my time for today, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions or complimentary information you would like to add, you can do so in the comment section down below. And as always, I will see you next time.